Welcome to NJIT Math Podcast today. My name is Tao Ling, and today I will try to explain to you how to factor out a polynomial. Let's look at some examples. First of all, this is the first example. We have 16x cubed plus 24x squared. Okay, how do you factor out this polynomial? Well, first, let's look at the coefficients of the two polynomials. So, one thing we can factor out from the coefficients are the greatest common factor. So, if you guys still remember, well, hopefully you guys still remember the greatest common factor of 16 and 24. Okay, their greatest common factor is 8. Okay, so that means we can factor out 8 from both of these numbers. So let's do that first. We can factor out 8. So this becomes 2x cubed plus 3x squared. So that's the first thing we can factor out is the greatest common factor from the coefficients. The second thing we can factor out is of the lower degree term of x. Okay, the lower degree term of x. So let's say we have x cubed and x squared. We can always factor out the lower degree term. Okay, so that means now we can factor out x squared. So if we do that, we'll have 8x squared. So what happens when you take out x squared from x cubed? Well, that means out of degree 3x, you take out degree 2. That means you have 1 degree left. So now it's just simply to be 2x plus 3. And what happens when you take out x squared? Well, you take out x squared from x squared. Well, then you take everything out, and the only thing left is just 3. Okay, so it's 3 multiplying by 1, which is just 3. So this will be the final answer. Okay, so the two steps are: first, you factor out the greatest common factor of the coefficients. The second step is to factor out the lowest degree term. Okay, now let's look at another example. So 5x to the fourth plus 20x squared plus 25x. Let's do this. So the greatest common factor of 5, 20, 25 is what? Well, it's 5, right? So let's factor out 5. We'll have 5x to the fourth plus 4x squared. 25, take out 5, and you get 5x. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, what's the lowest degree term here? Is it x fourth, x squared, or just x? Well, it's just x. So if you factor out x, you have 5x times x cubed plus 4x plus 5, right? You take 1x out of every single term, and then that's how you factor the polynomial. So this is it. Okay. Thank you very much for watching the podcast, and I wish you well in your study.